Hola a todos, bienvenidos a un episodio más de Habla, Baila y Conecta, un podcast organizado por el Ballet Clásico de Colombia. El día de hoy tenemos un gran invitado, Sebastiano Mazzia, un bailarín y coreógrafo italiano. Así que primero la entrevista de hoy va a ser en inglés, pero va a estar genial. Grandes consejos y grandes tips para la carrera, para nuestra interpretación, muchos detalles, así que estén pendientes. Today is with us our friend Sebastiano Mazzia. Sebastiano, let's talk about you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for inviting me. I'm really happy and honored to be here with you. I'm Sebastiano Mazzia. I am currently a soloist with the South Bohemian Ballet here in Budweis, where Jonathan is also working. I've been dancing here quite a lot, let's say 8 years now. And in the meantime, I'm trying to create a career as a choreographer as well. And uh, mostly because I would like to spread ballet as much as possible. I think it's a beautiful art form, and so many times we don't get the platform we need. I think really ballet has a lot of power, and it's a pity that the world is not giving us enough platform to show what we have.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
also, yeah, I created a gala in my hometown in Italy, Biella, because we have a beautiful theater there, but we don't have a ballet company. So my goal was to bring back ballet to my hometown, and we did a beautiful edition of our gala in 2022, and now we had to stop because they are working inside of the theater. So I'm waiting for them to finish, and then I will start again with this project because I think it's the direction we should go through.
Of course. And you said something really important, and it's to spread ballet, like that's also why we are inviting people like you. Like we have similar thoughts about art and dance. And well, it's so sad that I mean you are from Italy and we hear that you don't have a ballet company. Like I don't know, I'm from Colombia, and when I hear Europe, I imagine like it's companies everywhere. So
Yes, unfortunately, it's not like this. Um, I think there are beautiful places for ballet in Europe, Germany or Czech Republic, where we are in, but I'm very sad to say that Italy is not one of those places. And I believe it's not about the people because I really believe that people love ballet. When we do have ballet performances in Italy, for example, the theater is always full. I think the problem is more about uh, the economic around it, that people don't maybe uh, trust to invest into culture. You know, it's easier to invest into, I don't know, something
yeah, it's poor sometimes.
or where you see immediately the results of your investment. And I believe that when you invest in culture, it's a gift you give to not only to this generation but also to the next one. Usually, people with money have very short high sight.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, Italy is not a very good place now to be a dancer, but we are working.
But that's really important. I feel like it's now our turn to change that. Like we as a young dancers and people, we need to think and try to work for our culture and for the arts. So I think it's very important to what we are doing, what you are doing in Italy and everything.
The younger generation, let's say that we represent, I think has a lot of potential, and we are taking it seriously, the situation. I think we can change for the better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why we also want to have this chat with you, so even younger generation can hear all this advice, all these opportunities, all these situations, and work maybe in a better way, or maybe don't pass through some troubles we have or we experience. So we have some question for you, Seb. So we will start with the first question, that is, what do you think was or is the most difficult moment for a dancer career, and how you overcame?
Hmm. Well, I think uh, nowadays with all the social media, um, the community is so connected, you know. So one of the most difficult thing, in my opinion, is when you realize how much of a competition there is out there. You know, like the world is getting so small because, for example, you come from Colombia. You know, before it was not possible to do this, and now it's as well easy to see all the talented dancers out there. And maybe one of the most difficult period in my career was when I asked myself, uh, like, if I should keep going, because like the question is, am I on the same level of these people? Am I as talented as them? But to answer your second question, how you overcame it, I think we all have to find our place in the world of ballet. Uh, it's true that there are people who are better than us, but mm, there is a place for everybody, I think. You don't have to be in Royal Ballet to be happy.
That's true. Like, one of big problems now is to compare ourselves to social media, like as you said, now we have on the phone like the world, you can see any dancer for any place, and you compare yourself, and it's sometimes you get frustrated, you get upside down. It's
Yes, and it doesn't happen just in ballet, I think. It happens in any field. Like you can open your Instagram and you see, I don't know, beautiful models full of muscles, and ballet is the same. You open Instagram and you see people turning 10 pirouettes, but that's not what we like. Competition is not what we want to have, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And something you just said, it's everyone have a place, like there is a place for everyone. We just need to look for it and find it. One day will come. Maybe it's not the first company to audition for, the first place you go to, but you will find a place for yourself. I feel like that's really important, to people to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, Seb, we have another question here for you. And what tools help you to build a character in a interpretative way?
Mm, I think what helps me when I'm going to dance a character for the first time is to really trying to become the character. Like, how would I react if this would happen to me in the normal life? Um, because at the end of the day, of course, you have to give out an interpretation. You have to leave emotions on stage that maybe you don't live in the normal day, like death or. But it's still yourself, you know. If you portray Albrecht in Giselle, you are going on stage. So I think I always try to think how I would behave in my normal life if that would happen.
Of course. Of course, that's really important, and I ask him because you are a really amazing artist in, like, when
Thank
you're on stage, like I have the possibility to see you and you change your mind really quick and you just become the character. So I think it's really important to hear that tool. So we as a community, we as a dancers that are here today, listen to you, understand a bit how we can switch or pass to every time to a different role.
Yes, exactly. More than switch, maybe you have to mm, become, maybe, like, so that you're not fake, because the what can happen, which is really bad, is to be fake on stage, and that's what we don't want, right? Like
Of
nobody
course.
wants. So you have to find, yeah, the key to, uh,
Yeah, to overcome, to become.
yeah, and to really feel what you should feel.
Okay, yeah, that's really important to hear. Like, because yeah, that's really true what you said. There's two ways, or you don't get to the public anything, or you just are too fake, so it's really good to find the point where it's you in that feeling to become that role. Well, we have here more question for you, Seb, and it's, what do you think is the key moment in a new production, and how you go through that moment? Even I know you also do choreography, and so in both case, what do you think is that moment that it's the key? Like, even if it's because it's trouble, or it's because it's really things at the same time, what is that moment that you said is the important one?
Maybe I will answer two ways, like as a dancer and dancer,
Of course.
because I think it's completely different. Um, Talking as a dancer, I think the most difficult moment when you get into a new production is that uh, it's the first time you approach the role, the steps. So it's very hard, I feel, to feel comfortable because it's the first time you're approaching the role, the first time you do those steps. So sometimes we really, uh, I don't want to say get depressed, but we don't like ourselves first rehearsals, and that's normal. But experience taught me that it's just a moment. You have to go through that to then get comfortable in the steps, and then everything will be easier. As a choreographer, the key moment, um, I think, is, um, well, there are many key moments in a new production. The first one is to really fall in love with the choreo you're going to make. Um, I I was lucky enough, like every time I did a choreo, I was really uh, deep in love with the choreo. I think otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. And another key moment is when, because for me there is a lot of work in the brain before I start to work with the dancer. And then you start to work with the dancer, and of course, it's different. Like what you imagined in your brain is completely different from what you're seeing. And this is always maybe traumatic at first, but then actually it gets much better because maybe the dancer give you something you didn't think about. There is answer and question and answer, which.
Yeah, that it's really important, and it's about the communication also, like it's also many young choreographers that are listening to this podcast, and it's important to hear that, as you said, sometimes, I don't know, you imagine this step and this way, this movement, and with the dancers maybe it doesn't work in the same way, but they give you something else. That's true, like that's how it works.
Exactly. And even if they do exactly what you ask, they will not do it how you thought of it, because in the brain, so that's also important that we learn. Like as a choreographer, I was surprised how much you learn actually about ballet, because every dancer gives you something else that your brain can't create,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, of course. Like it's something that it's about like learning from everyone. Like I feel like if you are really good choreographer, you understand how to listen your dancers. Because I
Yeah,
feel like somehow if you close yourself to just do what I tell you, it gets quite a mess in the choreo. So to hear, even if you do this on this way, but turns out something different, how you can receive that and learn from that.
exactly. Uh, Totally agree with this. We usually think of the choreographer as the boss and the dancers as people who just have to listen. I mean, it's true that the dancer has to follow what the boss says, but a good leader, actually, the choreographer is a leader. A good leader understands the situation and can see, can read what is happening in the studio and can understand if it's better to change something, to implement something.
Yeah, of course. And it's just a word you said. Like the choreographer is not the boss, is a leader. It's two different things. Like the boss is going to tell you do this, do this, do this, and it's become a mess. And the leader understand the situation, build things together, and everything's work out.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
that's really important to hear. Okay, so let's go on. What do you think is being lost on an artistic way today, and what should we do to recover?
Um, it's not an easy question. Um, what I lost, maybe, um, I think um, the a bit we forgot maybe how powerful uh, ballet, but art can be. Like personally, I don't like so much to watch those ballets without a story, like where the goal is just to show how powerful the dancer is. Because I believe that ballet is a language, so the dancer has to talk, has to say something. They don't have to show me that they have feet like this and legs like this. That's just a basic to be able to do, to be able to talk to us. And I think maybe this is what we are losing sometimes. We consider ballet just as something beautiful, and that's it. But I think that ballet could talk about I don't know, problems of the world right now. We could have ballet about climate changes.
Yeah, of course. And I agree with you. Like, I feel like art in general, it should be something to talk about any problem. And I feel like now it's been becoming just to show yourself sometimes, to do tempirouettes, higher legs, big jumps, and because we would just want to show that it's our movement and how it is, and we start losing a bit of the history, like to really make the person that is in the public feel what the dancers are feel, going with the brain to that place that in the ballet is showing, to that era. And I feel like I agree with you that that is something that is changing and we are losing a bit. That I feel like now big in not big, like the choreographers in general sometimes are becoming just about movement and show, and that's it.
Yes, I agree. if you think of it, when you watch a movie, uh, you want to l- learn something. You like, what's the moral? Like, what is this movie try to teach me? Maybe. So why shouldn't ballet do the same? Like people, they go to the theater to watch a production, and they expect, like, I think they expect to learn or to ask themselves questions. Uh, I don't think the main goal is to show how good we are, because we are good. Like we know, like dancers nowadays. Like you can have that, and also uh, with your technique express something.
Yeah, that's also really important what you said. Like it's not about to change now that no dancing and just acting telling a history, because it can be one of the other, but it's the way how with your technique, with your pirouettes, with your higher legs, with everything, you tell a history to the public to take them to the all history and all process.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's this is another question we have here for you, and it's how you keep your body and mind in shape and what you recommend to the dancers. I ask also in the mind wise because sometimes, yeah, you get the physics, you train, you stretch, but sometimes if you're weak here or you're tired or you are with so many emotions, you can also lose yourself. Even you can also get injured if you are distracted. So I feel it's how you manage that.
Yeah, this is a very good question. I agree 100% that um, mental problems can cause uh, physical problems sooner or later. And I also think this is quite new in the world of ballet, but something very important, that our brain is also a muscle, and we have to take care of it as we take care of the rest of the body. I think it's changing for the better, and I think it's a good direction we are going through. For example, I think theater maybe should also have a psychologist inside of the theater, because of course we have a physiotherapy, very important. But why not a psychologist? Like uh, mental problem can cause really you can simply not work if you're not fine, and it's not easy to be a dancer, so it's also easy to have struggles,
Of
you know.
course.
And yeah, how do I keep in shape is a hard question. Like, of course, as everybody, I try to eat healthy. That's of course. And now more than before, I try to listen to my body. Maybe because I'm not so young before, but I think it's important to understand that when you have to stop also. Like, it's very good to work a lot during the day, but then there is a moment you have to rest to avoid injury.
Of course.
And yeah, that's what I would say. And also, it's very important to, because we have our working time where we use our body, and maybe we shouldn't just always go home after. Like, if we have some pain, maybe we can stretch it, or even before class, to prevent some serious problem.
Yeah, that's really important to hear to prevent from an injury, like work, stretch the muscles, not only split and spart, but the squats and everything, so you don't get injured from a jump or from anything. I think it's also really important because sometimes I don't know, like for me, and I know in Colombia it happens a lot that because we don't have an stable company, you work as a crazy, like everywhere, 16 hours per day, and sometimes you don't even care if you're injured. And I think this is something from the other side of the world that our listeners need to know, to hear the situation, the body. Like if I have pain, I can mark today, I can take it a bit more easy.
Yeah, also this is something that we have to learn. I think. I mean, I had to learn it because, of course, when I was 18 and I was a student, I was dancing 12 hours a day as well, you know. But then, if you want to have a long career, uh, you also have to learn how to be kind to your body.
Yeah, that's true, because it's like you just push yourself to go and do everything and work harder. But as you said, then you are 24, 25, and you are start injuries, surgery and things, and then your career is going down. And it's better to start soon to take care so you can just keep going until, I don't know, 40.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
really important what you just said. And well, I think this is the last question we have for you today. How do you approach working with live music? Like I know it's hard. I know you like, but how you approach that?
Yeah, it's the one of the best thing in ballet maybe is that we have to live the emotion live. You know, like if you are an actor, maybe you can do the same scene 20 times. But if you are a dancer, you can't because you are on stage in that moment.
Yeah,
The conductor as well. So it will never, this is what it's really interesting for me working with live music, that it's never the same, which of course is quite challenging because you don't know what will happen today. But at the same time, it's the unique that we were talking about before. Like it will never be the same. So you can also you can see it from a very negative point of view or a very positive point of view. It makes it special. It's of course working with live music requires a lot of rehearsals because you have to uh, get comfortable with the conductor, get to know his tempo, get to know how he conducts the orchestra. But then it creates really something magical. It's like having a soundtrack to your.
yeah. And you just said something, and I feel like it's really important to hear, because it's also one thing I love from dancing. And it's that you are on stage, you just have one opportunity, it's not like maybe acting or something else that it's record and you can record it many times. But I feel like even when I go to see a performance, even as a public sitting, you also feel that, like, that emotion of it is just one time. Like, you don't can go, I want to see this again, and just going backwards. It's just one time, one emotion, and it's there. So I
Yeah.
think that's really important.
And you can dance the same ballet maybe 10 times because you have successful action, so you have 10 replicas, but it will never be the same, you know. Every time you are on stage in that time, so the next time will be again different. You will feel different, people around you will feel different, the audience is different. So
Yeah.
even though you do the same steps, you have maybe the same emotions to express, it's completely different.
Yeah, that's true, and I agree in the way that you can do the same choreo, but the emotions, the floor, the music, like everything can happen. So I feel like, I know there are some people who listen to this podcast that doesn't need to be anything about dance, but they like and they listen. And I feel like that's important about know how hard it's all this career, because it's not as you rehearse, so you're doing all the same every day, and
No, absolutely. It's really demanding to be a dancer. It takes a lot mentally, physically. It's really a full-time job.
yeah, that's true. Like even if you don't rest well, as we say before, affects the next show or the next production. Like when you become a dancer, I feel like for me, it's you have to think as a dancer all the time. Like you cannot put yourself somehow in danger to get injured because you have rehearsal or you have performance. You need, as we said about psychological problems, you need to take care because that affects how you perform. That affects how, like, when once you become a dancer, you have to put it together, and it's a 24 hours job. Like that's something really important. Okay, Sevi, and we would like all to know like one last message you have for all our community, for all the dancers that can hear us. What will be that?
Okay, well, to all the dancers out there, I would like to say, as we said in the beginning of this uh, talking, that there is really a place for everybody because ballet is really offers a lot of places, and even if you don't become a professional dancer, there are a lot of ways you can live out of ballet. Also, if you just become a person who loves ballet, you can go to the theater and support this beautiful art form. So we can all um get a lot from ballet, not just professional dancers, but everybody can get a lot out of it. And I'm really, I really think we can improve the situation of ballet companies around the world, like in Colombia. What you do is, I think, the direction we should go.
Thank you. Yes, you said something really important, and thank you for saying, and I hope everyone listen to this, and it's a place for ballet for everyone, like as a dancer, teacher, choreographer, director, or just as a person who wants to enjoy and support. I feel like that's the most important. Like love art, like I feel like life without art it won't be the same. So go support, share all these projects, like your project in Italy, podcasts, companies around, like wherever you are, if you know there is a ballet company, go and watch our productions. I know you will enjoy, like, no all productions are the same also. Like it's not like if you see Don Quixote and you don't like it, but maybe you like Giselle, Swan Lake, something, it's so many different type. It's like a movie, as you said, it's not
Yeah,
always romantic or comedy or something. It's you will find, and you can help to spread ballet and spread art. So thank you, Sevi, for being here with us. You are really inspired and talented dancer. That's why we would love to have you here, because I know also how you're fighting for the arts here in Europe, in Italy, all around. So I think that's really important. And somehow this is why we are doing this, to also support, we will share. So anytime you are in Europe, go to see the fest and all the projects Sevi have. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sevi, for being here with us.
with a pleasure.
Thank you. So thank you, everyone. Until next time. See you. Chao, chao. Bueno, y esto fue todo por un episodio más de Habla, Baila y Conecta. Así que gracias por estar con nosotros. Por favor, para que sigamos creciendo como comunidad artística, no se olviden de compartir, suscribirse y darle like. Nos vemos en una próxima ocasión. Hasta luego.